Welcome to the walkthrough video of the Aggstorm 80. We're at Fulton Hogan here at Appleby Quarries, and my name's Bert from Equip2, and we're going to do a quick walk around on what's involved in this plant that we've supplied here at Fulton Hogan. So we're here right at the very top of the plant. We're sitting, must be about 9 meters up in the air. So as you see, the start of the process starts around the back here, where they've got big, large feed hopper bin. And we've got a transfer conveyor, which is 23 meters onto the next transfer conveyor. So the plant is getting fed with a product which is already screened to a 20 mil. So we're out there to produce three concrete eggs and a concrete sand. So our sizing into this plant is 0 to 20 mil. And so as it comes up the conveyor, you can see we're introducing water at the very start. We want 3 bar on these spray bars. And it's coming across this big, large 12x5 screen box, which is a linear action. And our objective here is to dissipate or screen out as much of that sand as possible. So hence why we've got a lot of water going onto the screen. And if we get that sand out, when it goes into the log washer, which you see just down the bottom here, this is a dual shaft log washer. And we've got manganese paddles, which is obviously thrashing the material around, giving a stone a really good polish. But the ultimate objective on this piece of equipment, on this application, is to try and remove as much possible lightweights. That's the little sticks, twigs, that once it goes into a concrete causes a lot of issues. So we're giving the stone a really good scrub and also removing that pain in the neck timber that you sometimes see in the finished concrete product, and that results in concrete being ripped up and replaced again. So with this log washer, as I said before, we've got dual shaft and we've got spray bars, 3 blocks of spray bars, and that's just giving us that flexibility if we need some more water in here to give the material more of a scrub, or to float the material, being our lightweights, to be able to get it moved off the back of the screen. So as we see here, this is the side of our log washer. MWS makes it so simple for access and for maintenance. So you can see 3 bolts, 2 swing bolts and 1 at the top. We can open that door up, hits against our nice little rubber buffer, and then that gives us full access to do any wear part changes. So when this log washer is full of water and material, we've got a level, so our water level might be about here. And the way we adjust that at the back here, we've got little bar slots, and we can pull some out or put some more in, depending on what level is required, to be able to get those lightweights off the back of this log washer. So as it comes off the back, we're going into this chute, which then diverts down to the bottom here. Not a good representation today because we've got a bit of stone in here, but the normal application we'd see down here would be a bit of water coming through and sticks. So the idea of this little screen here is just to dewater those sticks and send it off the back and into a skip bin. Come to the screen box. This is running another 12x5 screen box, and that's our 3 decks to obviously give us our 3 size products. As you see here, we've got our manifold, which has got all its independent valves going to the bottom deck, the mid fraction, and then also the top deck. So heaps of flexibility to really concentrate where we want that water, depending on where the cleaning needs to take place. Awesome feature we see here is the pipes going through the screen box stay static, and that minimises any damage to the screen pipes, and that's held and coupled by this nice flexible membrane. So through here, MWS has made it really simple for access. So we see this trolley here is on wheels, and we can just move that back. We've got a safety mat which we slide back and over top of the chutes here, and that gives us a nice safety area to walk on. So you can see we've got the poly mats in here, and then everything in the chutes is nice and lined, giving that maximum lifetime. So the beauty I love about the modular equipment and way MWS has designed these, you've just got so much space and work area. So if we're doing a mesh change or maintenance on the plant, we've got so much flexibility and room to store and put equipment. So all our sands, so initially comes from the very top screen. You can see our pipe work comes down and then straight into this, what we call a big sump, and the same for the water from the screen box. So everything gets collected into that sump, and then we've got a an excellent size pump, which pumps from there to our CSP unit. What I really love about this little mechanism here is we've got our pump here, and if we want to do maintenance, we obviously need to lift that pump or motor off. So MWS has got this mean slide rail system where we can slide this cassette out. These legs drop down to the ground, and then our whole pump station is on rollers, making that so much easier for when it comes to maintenance of this. So just standing in one of the product conveyors, so we've got 3 of these aggregate conveyors. As you see, they're nice and long, 23 meters long, and nice and buffy, good strength. But the thing about a long conveyor is meaning that we've got reasonable sized stockpiles, and we're not having to pick up that product and then put it into another stockpile for holdings. So the idea here is to store as much product as possible so that our trucks or customers are taking from that stockpile. So in the future, if the customer needs to move this conveyor into a different position, MWS have designed the chutes with such flexibility that makes that possible. As you can see here, that's on a swivel, and we've got a nice little flat which slows the material down, dropping onto the belt. So minimizing that wear and making it a lot easier for future changes. So we're now standing in front of our Cyclone plant. This is a CSP 12. The 12 means up to 120 tons per hour. So we're looking to produce just a single sand on this plant. We're not quite finished. We've got a conveyor that's going to be out the back of this, which is electric radial. So the way this works, we're taking the material from the plant that's getting pumped through to the base of this unit, which we call our catchment box. So inside here, we'll have our water and our sand. That's getting pumped here from the onboard pump up onto the Cyclone, which is then causing our vortex, and the lightweights, being our silts, obviously goes out the top. You can see the top bar, and that will be going to the customer's filter press. And any material that drops out of that Cyclone with a nice 45 fan, that's then going onto the dewatering screen. So we'll climb up there and have a look. So we're just up the top here now. You can see access to our large Cyclone. As you see, this is a fully polyurethane unit, which is maximising our wear life. So accessibility on these is so good. You can get down to here to make sure our unit is doing its job. So the way to, if you want to know how to tune a Cyclone, you'll see a how-to video on our portal on how to tune those Cyclones. So with these manifolds, you can see we've got extra water here as well. So the reason we have water on the Cyclone unit is to, number one, to top up the sand catchment box. If it's running too low, we don't want our pump running dry. Number two, if our material is too fine, we can turn these jets on, which is going to push some of those fines through that screening media. So the key objective to our screen here is to dewater our sand. And when we see that sand coming off the end of it, we have about a 100 mil thick layer. When it's about that size, we know it's draining that moisture out there as much as possible. So we like to see around about 9% moisture content coming out of our sand. So in theory, that's, once it's out of this plant, that can go straight into a concrete mix. Trace, that gives you a bit of insights on the Aggstorm and CSP. Any questions, feel free to call out to the team here at Equip 2.